Okay, so today we're doing what is RTI. As you can see, I'm going to pull the PowerPoint. RTI, the roles of the regular teachers are to plan, coordinate, schedule, evaluate, and research curriculum and the instructional outcomes. They need to lay out all the possibilities to create a secure and positive classroom environment for all students, including those with disabilities. They are to identify specific students and what they will be needing and using in all the data to make decisions as to what fits best for each student. There are very important roles, not just for the teachers, but also for the parents. Parents should be informed when a school begins an RTI process. All information should be provided and specified about the grades and levels and area of the content which uses RTI, such as reading. The parents of students involved in RTI should be receiving regular updates on their student progress. RTI intervention. I'm sorry, I totally forgot to turn off this TV, but RTI intervention should be provided by that person who has received the extensive training in the intervention program and may be implemented by the general education teachers, the paraprofessionals, the reading specialists, grade level teachers, and or counselors, depending all on the need of the RTI group. The process at the beginning will begin with the teacher assessing the skills of every student in the class. This keeps the school's RTI team telling the general teacher which student needs the instructional interventions. That's a term for on what specific skills need to be focused on and trying to improve them. They can be a part of a classroom instruction. Teachers give ongoing assessments to learn more about students' learnings and levels of achievement. The information is then used in the RTI process based on the information obtained. It will determine what a student's needs are and at what tier they fall in. The referral process is a preventive approach intended to address struggling students academically or behavioral challenges in the classroom. There are several stages that you need to be used in order to process. The pre-referral process, there's several stages. I believe there's 6. 1 is to interfere with concerns regarding a student's progress. 2, information gathering. 3, information sharing and team discussion. 4, discussion of possible strategies. 5, implementation and monitoring of strategies. And of course, number 6, evaluation and decision making. At the end, that's when they'll decide what student belongs in which tier. And of course, as the tiers go down, or is it up? It depends on the amount of time each student is needed to be successful. It's an educational strategy used in schools to provide. The success of RTI depends on the timely delivery of research-based instructions by a highly qualified instructor. It can be implemented at any grade level. RTI can be introduced at maybe first grade level. Depending on the district or the school's particular model of RTI, parents may be involved in Tier 2. Parents are usually notified at the early stages and explaining the process of face-to-face. Parents should be considered to be involved at the beginning of the school year. Parents should always should they be involved. Always. A huge part of the RTI process involves closely monitoring student progress. Process should start with a universal screening, which should be provided to all students in that class. The steps detailed should include the following. Checking the adequacy of screening data, planning, implementing, managing, evaluating. It is very important that all those steps are followed in order to assess the student and figure out where they belong. Allowing time for this intervention to be fully implemented is highly recommended before collecting observational data to determine progress, usually 1 to 2 weeks. These sessions should be 20 to 30 minutes for the kindergarten students and 40 to 50 for grades second and up. This will depend on the student needs and on what tier they fall in. All teachers should monitor student progress in reading, spelling, and math using standardized progress monitoring systems, such as curriculum-based measurements. Teachers should use progress monitoring systems to identify those students. And of course, again, I will stress on the fact that that will determine which tier they would fall on. Parents and students provide demographic data to the schools or district. Some results come from text, quizzes, tests, etc. There are 4 types of data for improvement: achievement data, demographic data, program data, and perception data. Research-based instruction strategies are strategies that have been influencing students' learning outcomes and student achievements, setting student objectives, and providing feedback which provides direction for learning, acknowledgments, student interest, and investments. This encourages students to complete assignments. In the state of Texas, the Admissions Review and Dismissal Committee, which is the ART Committee, makes the eligibility determination and decides if they are eligible. The eligibility determines for classification under one of the 13 disability categories. An individualized evaluation or assessment of the child must be considered. Steps needed. 1, which is the very most important one, is a universal screening, which is provided for all the students in that class. 2, all students receive appropriate instruction. 3, additional instruction support is provided for the students based upon where they fell on the tiers, on the 3 tiers. Progress monitoring, parent notification, and then, of course, a decision of which tier the student will be placed in. That is RTI, and it is very, very important that will assist the students to get the extra help they need in the classroom.